I'm going to show you how to make this lovely looking balancing bottle and glass holder. So this is one that I made a little while ago. I gave it away as a present, and that's just exactly one of the things you can do with it. Give it away as a present. It's absolutely lovely. It doesn't take long to make. It's quite cheap to make. You don't need expensive tools. If you start getting good at it and you start making them look really nice, it's something you could actually start selling. And I'll tell you what, with the feedback that I've got, I can tell you that this kind of gift or something you can make to sell is really, really popular. Well, let's get straight into it then. And what I've got myself here is a piece of softwood. It's about 27 mil thick, so it's just over an inch. I've had this lying around for ages. I think it's southern yellow pine actually, but I've had it for a really long time, and funny enough it stayed really flat despite the growth circles in the end grain of the wood. It really has stayed quite flat, so I'm going to use this. And I'm not sure what size the other one was because, as I say, I've given it away as a gift, but this particular one right here is about 9.5 inches, just over 240 mil. And this is going to be absolutely fine. So we're going to have a hole in the middle that sits on the bottle of wine or other non-alcoholic beverage, if you like. And then we're also going to put 4 slots in for the glasses. So I just need to get myself a bottle, get myself some glasses, and just make sure this is going to be the right size. Now, I guess what would be really nice is if you made this bottle and glass holder and actually gave it to somebody with a set of glasses and a nice bottle of wine. But at the same time, you could just give it away on its own as it is. So I've just put the glasses and the bottle on the board that I'm going to be making a holder out of. Now, obviously the bottle of wine is going to be going straight in the middle, directly in the middle, so I don't really need to measure where that's going. But what I do need to do is, with that roughly in position, is I can sort of see how far in I want to have the glasses hanging. I don't want to have them hanging really close to the bottle and then it'd be doing that all the time. So I'm going to have them quite close to the edge. And if you wanted them further in the board, then obviously you'd need the board to be a bit bigger. Or if you were using much thinner glasses, then that would also work. But if you're giving this to someone who likes a glass of red wine, normally red wine glasses are really quite large. So just bear that in mind. So with plenty of room between the glasses and the bottle, I think this is roughly where I'm going to sit my glasses. So what I'm going to do is just move 3 of these out the way, plus the bottle. And then what I'm going to do is just draw around this one, just round the base like so. And then what I want to do is find roughly where the middle of that is. So if we just measure that diameter, it's about 84. So we're looking at about 42. So I'll mark 42 right there. And then we just use the square. At that 42 mark. So we do that and we'll do that. So we know that that's where the hole needs to be, where the glasses are going to sit. But what I will do is just mark the rest of them as well. Find in the middle where the bottle's going to go, super easy. Obviously just draw a line from corner to corner and corner to corner. Next we need to decide how big we want the hole for the glass to sit in. And it doesn't really matter too much as long as it's no bigger than the base obviously, but also bigger than the slot that we're going to cut in the holder so the glass can actually slide into, because you almost want to end up with a keyhole slot. I'm using a 20mm spade bit for these holes. You could use a Forstner bit, it would probably be more suitable. Just make sure if you're using a spade bit you go halfway through and then turn it over and do the other side. Otherwise you get that annoying breakout. And when I do this, I don't clamp it down, and that just kind of allows the drill to find the right position. I'm using a round over bit in the router to make the hole edges a little bit smoother. Now this bottleneck is 30 millimeters in diameter, and I just happen to have a cutter here which is about 35 millimeters diameter, which is going to be perfect. But unfortunately I can't put this in the pillar drill because I haven't got the space on the drill between here and here. So I'm going to put this in the drill and do it this way. Sorry guys, but that bit didn't come out, but that has cut that really nicely. Minimal breakout. I am going to put a rounded over bit around that anyway, so any minimal breakout you're not going to see. But I did use a board underneath here just to make sure that it didn't break out too much. I'm putting a larger rounded over bit in the router for this part, and because it's sitting around this area of the bottle, the rounded over will allow it to sit a lot more comfortably. Bit of an optical illusion going on there. Let's oval. The next thing we need to do is to put the slots in here that will allow the glass to slide in and fall into these holes here. But what I did on the last one is I kept these corners square like this, and that actually makes it quite tricky to cut a line from this edge or this corner here into the circle. So what I'm going to do with this particular one is to just square that edge off slightly, or take the corner off. So I'm actually cutting perpendicular to the board rather than right on this angle here. And I think actually that will give it a slightly more pleasing look. Now the slot itself, I'm probably going to make about 10 millimeters. So the very bottom of that's 10, but about here it's 6.5. So actually if I make it about 10, then that's a nice round number. So what I'm going to do is just mark roughly where 10 millimeters is on this edge here, and then just kind of thinking probably want to cut it about there. I think I want to leave a fair bit of material here, so it's going to end up something like this. I don't want this bit being really small, which it would be if I did it too high here. So let's make sure we've got a good bit of material on the end there. So we'll make that, I think, 30 millimeters. So I'm going to mark it on a fresh end here. We'll mark 30 millimeters. Don't really need to hit both sides because I'm going to use the 45. And then we just put that there. So that's what we're looking to cut off. So as you can see here, what I've done is I've marked where I need to cut now, and this is going to give me a 10 millimeter slot from the edge through to the hole. And I'm going to do that on the bandsaw. Of course, if you haven't got a bandsaw, you could just use a handsaw. Now we can see how well these glasses are going to work. And look at that, that's perfect. You know, really with a lot of wobbling around as well, that glass doesn't come out of there, so it does have to be lifted slightly. So yeah, that's perfect. So what we'll do next with the small round over bit in the router is go round all the edges, but I think I'm going to keep this part as it is. I don't want to start getting in there and trying to round that. So I'm just going to do a little bit of sandpaper on that just to take the edge off. So we'll give it a good sand all the way round. And I'm going to finish it with some Danish oil. Right, okay, there it is, guys, and that is looking rather lovely now, and oh, it smells pretty good too. I will give it another coat of Danish oil just to protect it a little bit more, but let's check it out and see how it looks. So the thing I like about this is you don't have to get it up the right way. It can go on either way, really doesn't matter, and it looks exactly the same both ways. So my initial design, or thought rather, is that the glasses go in this way. And this is quite nice as well because you can lift the bottle like so and you can carry everything with one hand quite easily. But what you could actually do is have it this way as well. It's going to make it a little bit harder to carry, to hold it from this bit here. But I actually quite like how it looks this way. I guess what you could do is drill a much bigger hole in the middle so this would sit lower, which would give you something to hold. But I mean, you can still lift it from the bottle of wine here and you know, that's still quite steady. It's not going anywhere. So perfect. Pop that on either way. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this video and the process of me making this floating balancing wine and wine glass holder. If you've got any thoughts about this or ways in which it could be made better, simpler, or look better, then that would be great to hear. So stick those in the comments box down below and I really will do my best to respond. Okay, that's it from me. I'll see you next time. I'm gonna have a glass of wine. Or maybe not. Not tonight.